The Triumph TR8 is not a classic car. It is a catastrophic warning. It is a rolling compendium of engineering failures and financial ruin that prospective owners should avoid with absolute determination. If you are considering purchasing this supposed wedge-shaped sports car, prepare for endless frustration, enormous repair bills, and the crushing realization that you have bought a mechanical failure dressed in shoddy British Leyland sheet metal. Every single aspect of this vehicle presents an insurmountable problem, starting with the infamous Rover V8 engine, which is more accurately described as a lightweight aluminum disaster waiting to happen. The heart of the TR8, the 3.5-litre V8, suffers from severe, fundamental design flaws that make reliable operation impossible. Overheating is not an occasional problem. It is the engine's default operating state. The cooling system is notoriously inadequate, struggling constantly to cope with the heat generated by the V8 crammed into the small engine bay inherited from the TR7. This persistent heat stress leads directly to catastrophic head gasket failure, a repair that is expensive, complicated, and almost always temporary because the underlying cooling deficit remains unresolved. Furthermore, the aluminum construction of the engine block interacts terribly with cooling system components, leading to rapid internal corrosion. Electrolysis turns the coolant into a destructive soup, eating away at the block, the radiator, and the heater core. You are not buying a car. You are buying a complex chemistry experiment designed to destroy itself from the inside out. Oil pressure problems are endemic to the Rover V8 design, especially as mileage accumulates. Low oil pressure at idle is standard, indicating excessive wear on the main and big end bearings, guaranteeing a massive engine rebuild is looming just over the horizon. The timing chain tensioners and the chain itself stretch far too easily, leading to sloppy timing, terrible running, and eventually, catastrophic valve train failure if ignored. Even when the engine is running, it leaks oil from every conceivable gasket and seal. The valley gasket is a perpetual source of leaks, coating the transmission and exhaust in oily grime. The rear main seal failure is a nightmare to replace, demanding gearbox removal, and is notorious for failing again almost immediately after replacement. Your garage floor will resemble a crude oil slick, a permanent testament to the engine's inherent inability to retain vital fluids. The misery continues with the fuel delivery system, specifically the Lucas L Jetronic electronic fuel injection utilized on many TR8 models. Lucas earned the nickname Prince of Darkness for a reason, and this system is perhaps its crowning achievement in failure. The fuel injection is inherently unreliable, notoriously difficult to diagnose, and absolutely impossible to tune correctly without specialized, ancient equipment. Sensors fail constantly, including the critical airflow meter and the terrifyingly complex temperature sensors. A faulty temperature sensor can lead to massive overfueling, turning your efficient V8 into a gas-guzzling, smoke-belching horror show that refuses to idle smoothly. Cold starting is a constant, harrowing ordeal. The cold start injector fails often, leaving you stranded on chilly mornings trying desperately to coax life into a flooded, unwilling machine. The wiring harnesses associated with the Lucas injection are brittle, degraded, and prone to shorting out, leading to intermittent faults that drive owners insane trying to trace the root cause. When these systems fail, most modern mechanics simply throw up their hands, leaving owners facing the awful choice of trying to find rare, expensive replacement components, or undertaking a costly and messy conversion to unreliable aftermarket carburetors, trading one set of problems for another. Moving past the engine, the British Leyland electrical system offers its own unique brand of hell. This is not merely unreliable wiring. It is a fire hazard on wheels. The looms used were cheap, poorly insulated, and prone to rapid degradation due as much to factory defects as to age. Grounding issues are universal, causing phantom faults across the entire car. Dashboard gauges flicker and lie, warning lights illuminate randomly, and crucial safety systems often simply cease to function without warning. The infamous pop-up headlights are a guaranteed failure point. The motors are weak and the mechanism is poorly designed, meaning they jam, refuse to retract, or operate asynchronously, giving the car a permanent, terrible wink. Replacing these motors is costly and the repair is often temporary. Switches throughout the cabin are flimsy, constructed of the lowest quality plastic, and designed for limited use. Indicator stalks snap, hazard light switches fail to latch, and the fuse box itself is often a source of shorts and corruption, requiring the owner to perpetually carry a massive supply of replacement fuses just to ensure basic functionality. The chassis and body are the inescapable legacy of the dreadful Triumph TR7, a car whose structural integrity was questionable even when new. Rust is the primary enemy, and for the TR8, rust is not just surface deep. It is fundamental. The sills are particularly vulnerable, acting like giant sponges that soak up water and road salt, leading to rapid disintegration. When the sills fail, the structural integrity of the entire body is compromised, making the car dangerous and exceedingly difficult to repair properly. Inspection of the floor pans almost invariably reveals shoddy patch jobs, evidence of previous owners desperately trying to hide serious structural holes. Critical mounting points for the suspension and the rear axle are common areas for structural fatigue and rust perforation, meaning a seemingly clean car may suddenly suffer catastrophic failure under ordinary driving stresses. The fit and finish are truly awful, even by 1970s British standards. Panel gaps are enormous, inconsistent, and look terrible. Water ingress is inevitable, turning the cabin into a perpetual swamp. Leaky seals around the doors, windows, and boot ensure that moisture accumulates, fostering mold and mildew, creating a truly disgusting environment for both driver and passenger. The drivetrain attempts to transmit the engine's modest power through a notoriously weak and noisy gearbox, usually the Lieutenant 77 5-speed manual transmission. This gearbox is known for its imprecise shifts, and more critically, its pervasive whine, which serves as a constant auditory reminder of its impending doom. Synchromesh failure is a hallmark of the Lieutenant 77, particularly affecting second gear, turning ordinary downshifts into a grinding, violent assault on the ears. Clutch problems are frequent, often due to slave cylinder failure or excessive wear caused by poor clutch linkage geometry. The transmission mountings weaken and fail, leading to excessive movement and accelerated wear on the universal joints. The rear axle system is equally pathetic. The TR8 inherited a differential designed for a much less powerful engine, and while the V8 is not a powerhouse, it is enough to expose the weaknesses of the axle assembly. Excessive backlash is common, manifesting as a terrible clunking sound whenever the driver engages or disengages the throttle. This constant clunking signals imminent differential failure, a costly and dirty repair that seldom lasts. Drive shaft vibration is a persistent, terrible problem that no amount of balancing seems to cure, leading to an uncomfortable ride and accelerated wear on all associated bearings. The entire drivetrain setup feels strained and unhappy, constantly protesting the meager task it is asked to perform. Braking and suspension systems offer yet another layer of disappointment and danger. The brakes are utterly inadequate for the weight and potential speed of the TR8. Stopping distances are terrifyingly long, especially compared to modern vehicles. Brake fade sets in almost immediately under anything resembling spirited driving, turning a simple mountain road descent into a high-stakes gamble with disaster. The suspension components are weak and designed for fragility. Rubber bushings degrade rapidly, leading to a constant symphony of clunks and rattles from all four corners of the car. The handling becomes vague and unpredictable, betraying the car's intended sports car heritage. Shock absorbers leak prematurely, failing to properly dampen road irregularities, resulting in a bouncy, unsettled ride that feels unsafe at speed. The persistent noise and instability generated by the failing suspension make every journey a reminder of the car's poor construction. Inside the cabin, the interior speaks volumes about British Leyland's commitment to cutting costs and using the absolute cheapest materials available. The dashboard is constructed of hard, brittle plastic that cracks predictably due to sun exposure. Finding an uncracked dash is virtually impossible, and replacements are rare and expensive. The vinyl upholstery tears easily and quickly looks terrible. Due to the chronic water leaks, the carpets often harbor a terrible, damp odor, perpetually smelling of mold and decay. Controls for the heating and ventilation systems are known to seize up or break internally, leaving the driver either roasting or freezing, depending on the system's last working position. Window winders and door handles are flimsy, often shearing off in the driver's hand during ordinary use. The entire environment is characterized by cheapness and imminent failure, offering zero comfort or luxury. The ergonomics are equally awful, with poor seating position and controls placed awkwardly, further reinforcing the feeling that this car was poorly designed and rushed into production. In conclusion, the Triumph TR8 represents a colossal failure of automotive engineering, quality control, and industrial ambition. It couples the inherent structural flaws and rust susceptibility of the TR7 with an engine whose cooling and electrical systems are fundamentally compromised. Potential buyers are not looking at a collectible piece of history. They are looking at a maintenance black hole that will relentlessly consume time, money, and patience. The constant worry about overheating, the persistent electrical failures, the terrifyingly inadequate brakes, and the guarantee of severe structural rust should deter anyone seeking a usable or enjoyable classic vehicle. The TR8 is a guarantee of misery, a financial disaster that offers nothing but frustration and disappointment to its owner. You should walk away, run away, and never look back at this terrible, awful mistake of a car. The problems are pervasive, the repairs are endless, the result is guaranteed unhappiness. Every component is flawed, every system is unreliable, and the overall ownership experience is demonstrably negative. Do yourself a favor and avoid this automotive catastrophe entirely. The wedge shape may look interesting, but beneath the surface lies nothing but mechanical terror and eventual breakdown. It is a terrible car, built terribly, destined to fail terribly.